If you feel love in this life, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showing us just a sample of what love is like in the hereafter. Because this is the dunya version. And there's the perfect Jannah version. And it's supposed to make us yearn for that. Even down to the fruit that we eat. You know, there's fruit in this life that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us. We can see it, we can taste it, we can smell it. And Allah tells us that we have fruit in Jannah. And sometimes it even goes by the same name, Rumman, pomegranate. It might go by the same name, but it is not the same thing. Right? It is not the same thing. And even when we, inshallah, when we get there and we say, isn't this the same thing that we used to have before? And we're going to be told that no, it's just something similar. It was just you know, a similitude, that this is something that we have now as just a glimpse, an example. You'll notice that, you know, when you go to the mall and you're in front of a perfume counter, what do they do? Do you guys have Bath and Body Works here? Okay. So when they want you to buy something from them, what do? They pass out what? Samples. Little amount of perfume or just something to sample, or they have samples you can put some cream on your hand. What's the point of that? From a marketing perspective, what's the point? The point is that it's supposed to make you want to purchase the whole bottle. It's supposed to make you want the real thing by just giving you a sample. This is what we have in this life. All the happiness that you have in this life, anything that makes you any pleasure, is just a sample to make you yearn for, you know, the real thing, the full bottle. And the other way around, when we feel sad or when we feel pain, it's really supposed to make us ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from the real thing, the real version of fire. The real version of fire, wa'udhu billah. Third aspect of this dunya that we need to understand to be successful is that this life is a test. This life is a test. We're not just going through this life, going through the motions for no reason. You are being watched. You know, like, if you thought there was like a spy in the room, you'd act, you know, kind of different. Maybe not. You'd be uncomfortable, probably. But you know, if you're being watched, you act very differently than if you think you're alone. You are being watched and you are being judged. When the judge is in the room, you act different. You know, if there's like a school and maybe an evaluator is coming, or a teacher, and the principal's coming to evaluate her or him, you know, she puts on her best behavior, right? Naturally. Kids do this. If you're in a contest, when are you going to put your best performance? In front of the judge, right? We are being judged. We are being tested. We are being watched. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-Mulk, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. Allah is the one who created death and life. Created death and life in order to test you, which of you are best in deeds. So Allah is clearly telling us here the reason He created this whole dunya, this whole idea of life on this earth, life and death, is to test you which of you are best in deeds. The purpose of our creation in general is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The purpose of putting us in this life is to test us. Are we fulfilling that purpose?